Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Junk mail envelopes. Do you keep them? Do you use them after you've kept them? I tend to keep a lot. And I have friends that give them to me and all the rest. Sometimes I remember to use them, sometimes I don't. Here is a quick flip, pocket flip, to do with your junk mail envelopes. Now, I want this window envelope in my, or this window part in my pocket come flip. So when I get junk mail, I either slice it very carefully this way, and then the next one I get, I will slice that way, one or the other. So it gives me options when I go to use them. So I'm just going to leave this bit down here that is open, and I'm going to cut it off up here to the height that I want my actual pocket. Now I want about 1 centimetre, I suppose, which is about 1 centimetre there. So what's that? Bit over 1/4 of an inch, about 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to chop that straight off now. So round about there, I would say, yep. Because you want a little bit of meat at the top as such to make it sturdy. So something like that. You've still then got this one to make another pocket with later on. But we've got this now. Now, the easiest way to do these to cover that I find, and again, I'm using my scraps, so I've gone and found more of my paper pads that I've got bits and pieces missing from. And I've got 3 sheets. 2 I've already slightly cut down just to save some time. I want this one as my front cover. Okay. I want this one as my inside piece. And I want that on the back. So let's see. To do our inside, cut them down so that they will fit into your envelope, both the front piece and the inside piece. Now I've done this before because before I came on air, live, whatever you want to call it, because I already had that slice down the bottom, so I know that that will fit nicely. So I'm going to just line that up round about at the top, because I can trim it off. Most envelopes are not square. Oh, we know they're not square, they're rectangle, square, whatever you like, but they're not square as in their shape. Still doesn't make sense. It's hot here, I'm a bit addled. So to trim them off, so if you see, if I put that up there so that it lines up with the sides, I've got a little bit here and a bit more there. So I'm going to leave it like that so that I can trim this to the size that I want it later on. Now, with a piece of foam or your glue book without a cover, something like that, sit underneath your envelope, okay, with an old embossing stylus, or you could use the tip of your bone folder. I tend to use the stylus in about a medium size ball. This one has a larger one and a medium. I will then go round my corners. You can go around the whole thing, but all I'm doing, all I find I need is to go around that circled edge, that rounded edge, because then I can join my lines. So you can see I'm just going backwards and forwards. If when I turn this over, I can see those lines, I don't know if you can you see those indentations there? I know that I've gone through my little piece that's in there. So we're going to pull this back out. So can you see, I don't know, can you see those little indentations? All right, if we turn it over this way, you'll see them easier. And I'm just going to get my knife and I'm going to join my lines. So just on the straight bit, which will give me enough room to get my scissors in to do my curves. So I'm just going to work my way around. It will be a little bit smaller than your actual window, but you would prefer to have it smaller than larger. Okay, because you can hide a multitude of sins if the window opening is a little bit smaller. And the last one in there like that. Check that my knife has cut through all of those, not quite. Put a new blade in before you turn the camera on. You know, just general hints like that. That's what I'm here for. So I've got those all through now, and now I can grab my scissors and just carefully cut around my circle, or my rounds. Okay, first one's the hardest because you can't actually get in there that well. And that one. I tend to keep these as well because they make great little tags pre-rounded. Like that. And the last one, following that indentation. Like so. So now I've got that window in there. Stress-free, tear-free, I suppose. Now I'm just going to edge around that one because I can't do that once it's actually on the envelope. So I need to be able to do this now before I've glued anything down. Right, that's that one. What we're going to do with this now that we've got that and that, you'll see that this now fits nicely on my window edge. Okay, now I need to work out how much extra I want down here. Now you could by all means just glue straight along there. I tend to like to tuck them up and fold them. So what I'm going to do is make that about the same as this one. So I've actually gone over a centimetre there. So we're about 1.2, I suppose. We're just going to use our pencil, marking that, both sides, and running that line across with your pencil, like so. That'll give us an even border, top and bottom. With your scissors, just open it out, snip up this centre piece till you get to that line. Same on the other side. Just till you get to that line. And then what we want to do is just angle our corners like so. Just like that. This one will be our fold over. This side we're going to trim off. That's why I wasn't concerned that it had already sat up like this. What I'm actually going to do now is fold this up on that line. It's going to fold back the other way, but I just want it out of the way at the moment. And then I can sit this on here like so and trim off this bit. Does that make sense? Careful you don't cut into that fold. You could use your scissors for that, and then you've got this one, and that will fold over that way to make your pocket again. Okay, so you've redone your envelope as such, but now it's shorter. You've got this section. Before we glue it down though, what we're going to do is pop this piece in, which is our middle piece. And again, it's easier if you've got that opening top and bottom. We can sit that in like so. What we're going to do is we're just going to run a bead of glue down this section in here, okay? So we're going to hold it out. And I'm going to run my glue just down there. The whole thing doesn't need to be glued. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be glued top and bottom. Okay, as close as you can to the edge. And I'm actually going to move that up just a little bit, because that's why I've done it a little bit longer. And I'm just going to push down. Okay, so my top piece is now secured, and I can trim off that excess piece. So now I'm right on the edge where it needs to be. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same with our bottom section. So I'm just going to put in here, put a bead of glue down there, put it down, and then I can trim that off as well. Okay, so exactly the same thing. I'm trying to do it so that you can see what I'm doing without going too cack-handed. Might not be able to do that. I might need to be actually able to look at what I'm doing. I'll go around that way. There we go. Fold that down. And then we're going to trim that off, but we're going to need to fold this one back again, okay? If you don't have a blade, don't fret, just do it with your scissors. Like so. See how you're going with that? I'm a little bit above it, so that's fine. There we go, and that can be folded around. Done. So our inside piece is done. We're going to glue this down now. Just like we're making a normal envelope. Folding that up. Okay. So we've got that one there. This one, we're going to, when we glue it on, we're going to put all our glue on it, but we want to line up our window more than anything. If we've got, if I can show you that, I'll line that up first. See how there's a little bit of white showing there, can you see it? Our ink will cover that, so don't fret if you can see that. So I only want to go over this, going around all this. I know I'm right on the edges. Down here, I've got about 1 centimetre or so. So I'm just going across, going up, because I know that side's dead right. You could do this with a glue stick if you wanted to. It would probably be quicker, let's face it. Right. So remembering, we're going to match up our window part first. There we go. Give that a push. I've got my little doobie here somewhere. There it is. If you've got any glue that comes out onto your window, now's the time to wipe it away while it's still wet. Now we can trim this one up as well. Just straight off with that one. And there's a little bit at the top. I deliberately left a little bit at the top, remember, just because my envelope wasn't quite straight. So, getting our ink, you can see there's a little bit there, a little bit up this side. So we're just going to ink that up. I should have some ink on there because I've just re-inked my brushed corduroy, which is what I'm using. See how it disguises that anyway? Okay. And I'm going right in where that white is. Just to, if you're covering this in a white based paper, whereas this is a brown based paper, if you're covering it in a white based paper, of course, you don't need to worry as much. So there's our front. Our inside is done, nice and easy. Our back piece. Now, I've got one other sheet. Now, this is a 6x6. What I'm going to do is pop this on here. See how well this lines up to that. This one's pretty good. So I'd say my wonkiness is here and here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue on this bit. I'm going to pop that there, and stick that one down. So glue stick for most of this one. I'm going to go fairly close to my edges. Because this one is going to give me my flip, I want it to be a little bit stronger than a glue stick anyway. So now around my edges, I'm going to just pop my liquid glue, which is a bit stronger than your glue stick. So depending on what I'm doing will depend on whether I'm using glue stick or liquid glue. Last one. Double checking that I've got that up the right way. Yep, this is my top. So this is going down like so. That's going to go in there like that and down. I can always trim them if I've taken them further down. Right, so turning that over, a little bit down there. That side's really good. This side will be trimmed. We're not going to trim that bit. We want to leave that bit on. Okay, so we're just literally going to trim down this bit just here. There's that one. This one's staying, remember? And I've got a little bit, just a smidge, just there. So I'm actually going to trim that off, like so. And it was literally just a smidge. So once again, I'm going to ink around all of this. Make sure I've got the right blender. Now in here, before I put my ink away properly, what we want to do now is bend this one back to make our flip. Okay, so we're just going to lightly go down. What I'm going to do is sit my ruler on there to give it its first crease. I'm going to crease it up and then I can go back down. But I know where I'm going then. So see how I've now got my line there? Sit that on. In a true and just world, you would wait until your glue had completely dried before you did this, because you don't want to run the risk of peeling off your glue. But, you know, we're going to pretend that it's been sitting there for a good couple of minutes. Right, so now what we want to do, or what I want to do, is I want to pop a little bit of ink on there because I like where they look dirty, where they're folded, I suppose would be the best thing. So I've got that. Okay, there's my flip. How hard was that? So with my bits and pieces that I've got left over, look at this. So I'm going to do that one. Now this has got a little bit of writing on it. That should fit in there. I'm going to trim just a little bit off that because I want it slightly smaller. That's that one. We'll ink around that one. I keep losing that. Too many colours sitting over there, that's my problem. Now you could put a thumb notch in this one if you liked. Alright, making sure I'm up the right way again. We're going to glue this, but this time I'm going to use my liquid glue, but my small liquid glue. I'm going to put the lid on that one. I like using the narrow tip when I'm putting pockets like this on, so that I give myself as much room as possible to put things in. So straight down. I'll go in there, and again, because I've used a paper pad, I know all my papers are going to match. There's that one. Now I could use one of these ones for a little pocket in here. So let's just chop that one off. I don't know about that much. Just a little one. How's that? So back to this. Because that'll pick up the greens in that side as well. Just like that. Back with our thin one again, which seems to be running out. Hang on. Ugh. As in running over, not running out. Right. Put the lid on that, Kylie. That will stop that. And find something to wipe your hands. There we go. Here's the paper towel. Right. That, in essence, is that. How do we use it? So, in your journal, got my other one sitting here, which is why I've pulled out this one, because I was doing one. I'll move some mess. Pop that back, pop all those back. Right. Make some room. Make some room, make some room. That's all I've got left over from those 3 sheets, but you'll see in a minute that I won't. So I've pulled out my altered book again, gone to the next page. So here's what we did last week. And I already said I had one sitting there, so I've gone to the next page. I want to go on this side. I've just popped some background paper on both. That's light enough to write on if you wish to write on. And so here's the one I did a little while ago. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Okay. Again, would you believe it was the same paper pad? So I've popped the little bit in here. I've cut out some butterflies and popped on there. And I've always got my little bits that I've stamped sitting on my desk. So I use those all the time. So here's my fold. Okay. On the back, I've got a piece of my front. I've got this. This was out of the paper pad. They were some of my little stamped bits. We're going to make this a pocket as well. Okay. So with my little one, what we're going to do is go down. These are such a quick way to use up some of your junk mail envelopes, some of your scraps that you've got floating around, be them paper pads, scrapbook paper in 12 by 12s or digitals. Right. I'm just going to hang on to that bit. I'm going to work out where I want this because I want it to come past this. So I'm going here first. I like about there. Push that pocket down. That's nice and straight. I've now got my flip. Okay. While that's drying, let's fill this. And I've already done those. Told you, I'm trying to make quick ones for you. So I've got little one for in here. Just a little butterfly one to bring the butterflies. I've used another sheet from the paper pad and another sheet, just double mounted them. Then I've used some tissue paper that I had coffee dyed. I've stamped on that, popped in a couple more butterflies as well. They will go down there. So my stamped image sits in my pocket. Okay, turning this over. More from the paper pad. This one's going to go in here. Look how many pockets and bits and pieces we've got with this one. Again, you've all seen me using these butterflies from these little, these tiny little butterfly pads that I had. And then I've got this one. So, again, I've just used up the scraps that I had left over. So all those pieces, these ones that I had, I've gone and used. So I've got this one. He should fit just there. I've already rounded my corners and I can have him sitting out or as in as much as I like. piece of that, which was the piece that was inside there. I'm just going to tuck you in there. And I had a long piece left over from this one. Again, I've popped some tissue paper on there and I've just popped that there. Look at that. How quick and easy is that for a junk mail envelope? Lovely page in your journal, using up some of our scraps again that we've got floating around. So exactly the same thing, just ready to be decorated, or just ready to have all its tags really in it now, because it's already done, ready to go. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's a quick one. I'm learning this year. I'm starting to get quick for you. And until next time, thanks for watching and happy crafting. Bye.